Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the MOJO box and MOJO television network store and how best to spend them. A lot of you have been asking me to make a video in regards of this. Initially I was not planning about it, but there seem to be plenty of people who are slightly confused. Now first of all, we need to take a look at the solo event, because as we can see, then we need to get 11,500 points in order to get all of the rewards. In total, you are able to acquire 12,000 MOJO bucks if you are Cavalier or Thronebreaker player, or if you're uncollected or below, then you can get 9,000 MOJO bucks, and you're gonna get up until this milestone right here, also number 9, that still awards you a 5-star awakening gem. Right, that being said, it's very important to understand that each difficulty gives 3,000 MOJO bucks, and for the intent and purpose of this event, every single MOJO box is counted as one unit, as 1 point. That means that the lowest difficulty MOJO bucks are as valuable for this event as the highest difficulty MOJO bucks, and if you want to get all of these, you do need to do all of the difficulties. That is the first key aspect. If you want to get up to milestone 12, you need to 100% every single difficulty. There are 4 in total. So that is first things first. Second thing, you will note that you can acquire 12,000 MOJO bucks, and total needed points are 11,500. The reason they did this is because a lot of the bundles do not really divide by 3,000, and there will be a few bucks left over in each of the difficulties, like 5, 10, 15, 70, whatever, that you cannot spend. But the math that they did here is quite clever, because there are 4 difficulties in total, which means on average you can have each difficulty with 125 MOJO bucks left over, and you would still be able to reach 11,500. Why am I saying all of this? It's very simple, because a lot of people are worried that they're going to have some left over and then they're going to reach a milestone. But if you check the math very quickly, then you will soon come to understand that not a single bundle in this store costs 125 MOJO bucks or more than that. And that means that you can spend however you want your MOJO bucks, and you will reach the final milestone as long as you do all the difficulties. It doesn't matter whether you have 70, 50, 80 or whatever left over in each difficulty, you will be able to reach the final milestone. So you do not have to think about it 1 second. You do not have to worry about not getting the final milestone if you don't buy the right bundles. Fact of the matter is, you can buy any combination of these bundles as long as you spend all of the MOJO bucks to the closest kind of like limit possible. You will get to the final milestone. There is not a single variation of these bundles that would prohibit you from reaching the final milestone, because the most expensive one of them is 110, and the cheapest ones typically are 80 or 85 MOJO bucks, which means that even in this situation, if you have 80 or 70 left in each difficulty that you just short and you have this largest amount left over possible, you would still hit the final milestone. Very, very important for people to know that you do not need to stress about not hitting the final milestone if you don't buy the correct bundles. But speaking of buying bundles, where are the better values and what are my personal recommendations and how I will personally spend? Obviously, when it comes to the higher difficulty ones and more kind of important resources, a lot of that is dependent on your account needs. For instance, if you desperately need gold, I do recommend picking up these gold bundles, because, you know, you can get 4 million gold. For most people, I would not recommend that, but if you need gold, there you go. That would be the best for your account. However, with the earlier difficulties, there are quite clearly the better and the worst options. So my personal recommendation for the lowest 2 difficulties is to max out on the cow crystal shards, because they at the very least guarantee you a 3-star. Obviously 4, 5, and 6 stars are still on the table, bit of gold, because the alternative options are just not all that impressive. You know, you can, with what's left over, because you're going to spend 1,600 Mojo bucks here, you're still going to have 1,400 left to spend on any of these other bundles. But here we can see tier 1 and tier 2 catalysts, you know, not overly important. Tier 3 catalysts, not overly important. Scraps of 4-star shards and 3-star signature stones. Again, 3-star shards and 3-star signature stones. And tier 1 alpha fragments and tier 2 basic catalysts. So whichever one you want there, really. For me, I'd probably go with these tier 1, tier 2 catalysts, just so I don't have to bother running the daily catalyst events. And when I do get new 3 stars and whatever, I have something to take up. But I will definitely buy all of the cav shards one. And then, you know, I'm going to probably pick up some of the catalysts or maybe some of the 4-star shard and 6-stone ones, just because I still have some 3 stars that, you know, I want to increase sig level, but it really doesn't matter. Main point is buy all 20 copies of this one and then pick whichever one you like, because, you know, the resources in those ones are quite irrelevant. Now I'm going to take the second difficulty, so these will contain somewhat more decent items in them. You can see that we can pick up 50% of tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystal and a tier 3 class catalyst fragment crystal. So we need to keep that in mind. You can pick up a tier 4 basic. You can pick up some drips of 5-star shards. I really do not recommend. 100 5-star shards are really not worth it. Think about if you're putting in 1 tier 5 basic catalyst or 100 5-star shards. It really does not make much sense in that bundle, nor do practically these 4-star shards for most people, in my opinion. Tier 1 catalysts, if you are on tier 1 catalyst shortage. And then obviously we have the cast and crew crystal shards. Personally, I will pick up this master bundle 6 here as well, just getting the cow crystals and some gold. So I'll max this out. Again, 1,600 Mojo bucks. I'm going to have 1,400 left over. And in which case, I do think that this bundle is the way to go for me personally. I'll max out on this one also, because that's going to give me 5 tier 4 class catalysts, which is awesome. And then for the remainder of it, I'll pick up a couple of tier 4 basics, because, you know, you consistently keep using them. And if you're not in a need for tier 4 class catalysts, then it's quite clear that it's best for you to go for tier 4 basics, most likely, or tier 1 alphas, if you insist on that. But yes, first 2 difficulties, very simple. Max out on cav crystal shards, first and foremost. Right, difficulty number 3, it gets more interesting, because there we can pick up tier 4 class catalyst crystals, fully formed ones. You can pick up some tier 5 basic fragments already. You can pick up a little bit of 6-star shards, some 5-star shards, tier 2 alpha and tier 4 basics. And last one is again cav crystal shards. Now here, you can already start thinking, because you do have 3,000 shards available to you. I personally will likely end up picking up some of tier 2 alpha and tier 4 basic bundles. Perhaps some, but not max amount of catalyst shards and gold. And probably, sorry, I'm probably going to end up, my bad. I'm going to end up picking up all of these bundles, 10 tier 4 class catalyst crystals, which will spend 1,200 of this. Then I'll end up picking up some tier 4 basics and tier 2 alphas. And then if there's anything left over afterwards, then I'm going to pick up a few of the catalyst shards. But at this level, I do not necessarily think that getting a few cav crystals is worth more than getting a solid amount of tier 4 class catalyst crystals and tier 4 basics. So in the third difficulty, I'm switching my focus away from cow crystal shards. I'm going to focus more on picking up tier 4 class catalyst crystals, tier 4 basics, and, you know, some other catalysts. But I will not focus on any of the shards, because I don't think they're quite worth it. And now we have the final difficulty, where we have the best items, where we can get 1% tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystal, tier 4 class catalysts. we can get tier 5 basic catalysts and tier 1 alpha catalysts. You can pick up a solid amount of 6-star shards and 2005 star shards, so I still recommend 6-star shards over that. Full tier 2 alpha and 2 tier 4 basics, or again the cow crystal shards and gold. So this final difficulty, I will personally still carry on my focus on tier 4 class catalysts, because I do think that, you know, there is a quite big need for them for a lot of players. But at this point you can kind of decide whichever one you like and want most. Probably pick up some tier 5 basic fragments, because tier 5 basics are in shortage, and obviously some 6-star shards. But this final one is kind of entirely up to you. I think the most important thing to note from this video is that you can buy any combination of bundles, and as long as you do all the difficulties available to you, you will not fail to reach the final milestone. It does not matter if you have 80, 70, 60 Mojo bucks left over in every difficulty, you will still reach the final milestone. That's number one. Number two, in first two lower difficulties, by far, in my opinion, the best value is the cast and crew shard bundles. And then you can choose to go whichever route you want. I'll personally go and try and pick up as much tier 4 class catalyst fragments and the like. And in the final difficulty especially, it entirely depends on your account needs, what you are short of. If you're short of tier 5 basics, go for that. If you're short on tier 1 alpha, go for that. If you're short on tier 2 alpha, go for that. So on and so forth. But in the last two difficulties, I do not necessarily think that maxing out your cow crystals is the best play, unless you really need the gold, because keep in mind that in the final difficulty you get 200,000 gold for each of these bundles. You can get 20 of them, which means 4 million gold. So if you're gold poor, then, you know, it's still the best call for you. But in any other scenario, I'd rather pick guaranteed values of catalysts over an insane gamble in a few cow crystals. That is my personal opinion. So, very, very quick recap. Don't worry about which bundles you buy. Ultimately, you'll still reach the final milestones. Number one. Number two, first two difficulties, by far the best values for most players are to max out on cow crystal shards and then focus on whatever catalysts you can get from them. And number two, last two difficulties, you really need to look at what your account is lacking on. And my personal recommendations are likely to focus on tier 4 class catalysts and tier 4 basics and stuff like that. That's about it. I hope this video has helped some of you answer questions that you might have been having, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about